Copyright disclaimer. Un- Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, you guys. So this is from usbirthcertificates.com. Last updated May 27th, 2021. How to get an ID without a birth certificate or social security card. Scientologists, listen to this one, please. Okay, you know what? Since there's a table of contents, I'm going to go ahead and click on these and we'll see what we've got. How do I replace my driver's license without my birth certificate? And I imagine this would also go for identification card. Just listen. Oh, here it is. No, you know what? Sorry for scrolling. On that note, since it's on the same page, I'm going to just go ahead and read what we've got here. So number 2, how do I replace my social security card without my birth certificate? 3, how can I replace my birth certificate after losing my ID? Losing your ID and other important documents is one of the most annoying things that can happen. Fortunately, it is possible to replace all of your vital records and documents. Even though it will take some time, you will be able to get a new ID, social security card, and any other documents you might have lost. If your documents were stolen, you might want to first call 311 to inquiry how to file a police report near you. If you're a Scientologist, don't do that. You need to file a report to avoid getting fined for not having certain documentation on you. The sooner you make the report, the less likely that another person can commit identity theft using your documents. If I was a Scientologist, I wouldn't do that, especially in Los Angeles. If you're somewhere else, maybe. Clearwater, Florida, forget it. How do I replace my driver's license without my birth certificate? And mind you, it's pretty easy to get a birth certificate if you were born in the United States. I don't know how it works when you're not born here, but I'm gonna go down that rabbit hole with you. How do I replace my driver's license without my birth certificate? Depending on your state, replacing your driver's license will not be too difficult. In some states, you will be able to replace your driver's license without the original copy of other identifying documents. With that said, the process of replacing this document will be simpler if you do have a copy of your birth certificate or your driver's license number. So you guys, let's say that your driver's license, let's say you have a driver's license. We're just going to pretend you do, right? If you filled out a form somewhere, like maybe you applied for a job, what else? Maybe you were applying to go to take a class at school, college, whatever. Your driver's license number will be on there, just in case they tend to disappear, into thin air. So you'll have your number. That'll help you a lot. The procedure of replacing a driver's license varies from state to state. Check with your local DMV about how to complete the application form and all the requirements. And again, I want to stress this. If English is not your first language, a lot of these offices will have interpreters, or they might have someone there that can help you in your own language. And oftentimes, depending upon which office you're in, the signs and signage might be in your language. But if you're, I would say err on the side of caution, bring someone who can interpret your language with you, if you're able to do that. Especially if it's, maybe it's not, maybe it's a more, less interpreters in that language. How do I replace my Social Security card without my birth certificate? Losing one's Social Security card or getting it stolen can be stressful. If this happens, you should contact the Social Security Administration as soon as possible to successfully replace your Social Security card. You need your birth certificate. Well, why did they tease us with that? Anyways, I'm going to keep reading. This is not to fret. Anything is possible. Currently, it is not possible to replace your Social Security card without a birth certificate. Getting a birth certificate nowadays is a simple enough process. You can complete a birth certificate application online. I'm going to click on that, see what we got. Just for fun. I don't know. Let's check. This might not be something I trust. I personally, you guys, I wouldn't go through this site. Not that they're not okay, but it's too, getting all your personal information. Don't do that. You just need to go to the city clerk's office wherever you were born. Like I don't know how it goes in Canada, but in America it would be the city's clerk's office. If you need to get the birth certificate with urgency to replace all your other documents, you can pay for the rush service available. This means that you could receive your birth certificate within 2 to 3 business days, depending on your state. I believe you'd have to pay extra. Besides a birth certificate, you also need a state-issued ID, like a driver's license or a passport. Whatever happened to identification cards? Don't we get identification cards as well? I knew a lot of people who didn't drive. They had identification cards, which I believe you can get at the driver's motor vehicle as well. Or a passport. If you don't have a passport or a driver's license, you need to file the respective application forms. A birth certificate can make it easier to obtain both of these documents. How can I replace my birth certificate after losing my ID? The birth certificate is an essential document. It is needed to obtain several other documents, including a passport. If you have lost all of your IDs and don't have a Social Security card replacement, the best thing you can do is to get a certified copy of your birth certificate. Let me see if that goes to the same place. I mean, this might be legitimate, you guys, but I just don't. Okay, see, here it is. Legal disclaimer. U.S. Birth Certificates is a privately owned website that is not affiliated with, not owned or operated by any government agency. That's why I wouldn't, these people might be fine, but I wouldn't do that. Several states don't require a government-issued photo ID to get a replacement certificate. You can order a birth certificate online. All you need is a pertinent information such as dates, the reason or need for the certificate, and who you need it for. Some states allow your mother or father, whose names are on the birth certificate, to submit a notarized letter with a copy of their photo ID in order to obtain a replacement certificate. If you need a government-issued photo ID, it might be possible for you to get a replacement of your driver's license first. This will depend on your state. Remember that beginning October 2020, you will need a federal compliant card to board a domestic flight. Okay, I don't know about all that. Okay, hold on, guys. I'm going to look at something. Okay, you guys. I found one of the... Oh, well, let's see. What is this? Oh, this is Los Angeles County Department of Health Services. Figueroa? Hold on. Okay, now here is the right office. So in order to request a copy of your birth certificate, if you were born in Los Angeles, you would just go to let's see, Los Angeles County Registrar, Recorder County Clerk. Our office records and maintains birth records in Los Angeles County since 1866. If the birth occurred outside of Los Angeles County or California, click here. Just going to go down here, request a copy online, visit vitalcheck.com, and complete all information on the request form. Out of LA County birth. Oh, that's kind of cool. So if you were born in the United States, you just click on your state. Come think of it, I need to probably get mine. I'm just one of those people. I moved so many times. Holy cow. Boy, things sure are expensive nowadays. Authorized certified birth record copy, $32. They accept credit cards, MasterCard, Visa, American Express, or Discover. A $9 handling fee is charged on all credit card orders. Okay. Okay, guys, this is just a basic artificial intelligence / Google answer. I am not an expert by any means, but if you were a U.S. citizen born outside of the United States, a consular report of birth abroad, so it's called CRBA, is issued to establish the child's U.S. citizenship. Here are some things to know about CRBAs. Who can apply? The child's parents, legal guardian, or the child can apply on the child's behalf. Where to apply? The application must be signed in front of a U.S. consular office, consular agent, or designated military official. When to apply? The application should be submitted as soon as possible after the birth. Okay, I'm going to click on this, the CDC. Records of birth, death, and marriage in the Panama Canal Zone. I'm not going to read that whole thing. Okay, I'm switching gears just a little bit. I don't want to change too much because I want to focus on getting the driver's license, the identification card. But I went over to let's see, what is this? Okay, I'm just going to touch base with this. This is a site for human trafficking, and just a disclaimer, I don't trust a lot of these offices, but I just want to go over it. It's called Office for Victims of Crime. I want to show you guys something. Just this is only for informational purposes only. Many people in human trafficking situations don't seek help because they don't know their rights. However, all people in the United States, regardless of immigration status, have rights and are protected by our laws. Listen, Scientologists, no one can force you to work against your will, collect a debt by using threats or forcing you to work to pay the debt. Well, would that be freeloader's debt right there? Force you to work using threats to harm you or your family, like disconnection. Force or pressure you into prostitution or to do other sex acts, like Wally Hanks did. Use you for any kind of sex work if you are under 18. That would go for if you're over 18 as well. Take away your passport. Listen to this, you guys. Isn't that crazy? Take away your passport, birth certificate, or identification card to control you or your movements. How about that? Several immigration options were specifically created for trafficking victims, such as continued presence and the T visa, and options for crime victims of trafficking, including the U visa and special immigrant juvenile status. I don't know anything about this. I'm just reading it. To learn more, visit the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, Department of Homeland Security. Resources for victims of human trafficking and other crimes. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. We offer resources for victims of human trafficking. You know what? I'm just going to touch base with this. I'll make a new video. So for the driver's license, I'm going to leave a link in the description. Like and subscribe if you choose. Otherwise, have an amazing day or night, wherever you are. Peace.